Let's go ahead and recline onto your back. And just start to settle in there. Notice how it feels to be on your back. Maybe it's been one of those long, long days, and it feels really good to lay on your back. And just kind of notice how the spine starts to lengthen out. Notice if you have any pressure in the low back. If you've been sitting a lot, or maybe you've been lifting things, or maybe even doing a lot of exercise, your hip flexors and your hips might be really tight, and that kind of pulls on the low back. So just kind of check in there. Scanning over the body, the rest of the body, checking with the shoulders, the neck. We'll take a nice deep inhale. And let it go. Start to check in mentally, acknowledging what type of day it's been. And just acknowledge, just notice where you are emotionally, mentally. Try not to judge, not to criticize, not to hang on to any emotions. Just acknowledge. I'm going to take a nice deep inhale here. And as you let that go, try to let go of any attachment to any of that. Let it go, it's in the past. Being in the present with your body, with your breath. Arriving here on your mat, in your body, with your breath. And start to set an intention for your practice today. Whatever got you to your mat is exactly why you need to be here today, so honor that. And allow that to be your intention as you move forward. And as things get hard or if things get confusing, bring yourself back to that intention, right, of why you brought yourself to your mat. And start to let that intention take form in your mind's eye. So taking one hand, place it over your heart, one hand over your belly. Take a nice deep inhale here. And sigh it out to set that intention. As you sigh it out, letting the weight of your hands let you arrive a little bit more into the present moment, into your body. And then either keeping your hands on your chest and belly, or moving your hands to your ribs, so your fingertips are touching the tops of your ribs, right where they kind of curl up. Maybe your thumbs go around your side waist. And just start to tune into your breath. Start to inhale and exhale equally, noticing those ribs expand and contract with each breath. Allowing yourself to settle into that breath, into the stillness and steadiness of the mind, of the breath, of the body. Just starting with a little bit of stillness before we start to move. Take one or two more breaths here. Starting to engage that Ujjayi pranayama if that feels good to you. If you need a little bit more heat, that little ha sound or wave sound. Otherwise, just equal parts breath. And then start to take your hands by your side. And as you inhale, lift the hips up to the ceiling. And exhale, release them back down. And can you do that with each vertebra? Inhale, hips, mid-back, all the way up to the upper back. Exhale, upper back, mid-back, low back, hips. And again, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Just getting into the spine a little bit. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Good. Grab onto your thighs, draw your knees into your chest for a moment. Give them a hug, rock a little bit from side to side. And then you're going to make your way on to up to sitting. So whether it's to the side or rocking and rolling yourself up. Taking a little, that bolster or a blanket or a block, whatever you're going to place underneath your upper back. So you're just going to have it under your upper back. I'm just going to use a block because it's easier to see. But you can do a pillow, a cushion, but just make sure it's about, 6 inches up so you can get a little bit of range of motion there. And then go ahead and lay back onto it so that your shoulder blades are on top of that. So the shoulder blades are on top of whatever you have under your back. And then your legs can be cross-legged, they can be bent, they can be straight, whatever's going to feel best to you. I'm just going to cross my shins. And then you're going to take your arms, reach them up overhead. And as you exhale, reach them to the back of the room. Open up the chest. Inhale, brings the arms back up to center. Exhale, back overhead. Inhale, brings them back up to center. Exhale, overhead. And then bend the elbows, bring the hands behind the back so your head's in a little bit of hammock. Your hands are interlinked. And then you're going to inhale, make the elbows wide, let the head drop back so your neck is supported by your hands. And then exhale, keep the head back, but lift the elbows to the ceiling, drop the head back more. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, elbows to ceiling. So your head is being supported by that hands. Inhale, elbows wide, but you're just finding that little bit of lift in the chest. Exhale, elbows lift. Good, pause there. Reach those elbows to the back of the mat. Take another full inhale into the front body. Exhale. Inhale, lifts the head and chest. Exhale, release the hands by the side. And then press into those elbows, press yourself up. Feeling taller and longer, hopefully. Coming all the way up so you're up to seated. Crossing those shins, sitting up tall. And take your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale. That place where you felt that compression on your upper back, see if you can twist from that space as you rotate. Good. Maybe you're inhaling and exhaling using your chin moving forward and backward if that's okay for your neck. Or maybe you're just looking backwards. Take a couple more breaths here, feeling that movement come from that upper back. Exhale. Inhale comes back to center. And as you exhale, rotate to the opposite side, to the left. And again, using that rotation right there from that mid-back. Maybe even draw that right hip back. And again, you can rotate with the chin forward and backward if that feels good for the neck. Couple more breaths here. And then inhale comes back to center. As you exhale, lengthen out forward. Just get a little fold, lengthen out, round the spine a little bit. Broaden those shoulder blades away from one another. And then inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, walks the hands back. Lean back into your hands. Bring those knees together, toes to the floor. And if it feels okay, hover the feet. If it still feels okay, reach those arms forward. You can always hold on to the backs of the legs. Get a little bit of core engagement, finding that front body. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, cross the shins to the opposite shins in front. Take another big inhale here. And then exhale, lengthen back out again. Good, just getting into the hips a little bit, into the back, maybe even round the back, getting into the upper back. Another inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale back. Bringing those hands back behind you again. Draw those knees up, toes to the floor. Maybe hover the feet. Maybe hover the hands. Good, pausing there for a moment. Good, either stay here or lower halfway. Straighten the legs, keep the chest lifted, chin lifted, using the front body. Take another inhale. And exhale, lift back up, half Navasana. Good, take another big inhale. And as you exhale, cross those shins, ankles, roll forward, hands and knees. Good, grounding down into those hands. Few rounds of cat-cow at your own pace. Set your hands. As you inhale, your belly will drop. Shoulders will roll back, shoulder blades together. As you exhale, press in the hands, tailbone drops, shoulder blades draw away from one another. Inhale, lengthens the spine, chin even lifts. Exhale, you're rounding through that upper back. Continue on at your own pace, pausing where you might need to. And then once you've had enough of this and you're feeling good through the spine, Tuck the toes, straighten those legs, find your plank to downward facing dog. Just take a couple moments, pedal through the feet, shift the hips, check in with those hips and hamstrings. Keep those arms nice and strong, pressing down and forward to lift the hips as you check in with those hamstrings. And then on your next exhale, come to a nice still downward facing dog. Bend into the knees so you can send those sit bones high. Find more length in the sideways, draw those hips up and back. Press into the hands, let the neck grow long toward the shoulders. Or sorry, toward the thumbs, not toward the shoulders, toward the thumbs. Another big inhale here. Exhale. As you inhale, take the right leg, lift it to the sky. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, stepping that foot forward. Help it out if you need to, let that back knee drop. Inhale, sweeps the arms forward and up, reach it up. Nice long spine. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, cactus arms. Draw those shoulder blades together, lift the heart, maybe even lean those elbows forward, palms back, chin lifts. Big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, reaches those arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, straightens the back leg. Exhale, steps you back, plank. Pause there, take an inhale. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Keep those shoulder blades onto the back, shoulder heads lifted. And then ground through the toes. Take those hands back behind you, palms face down. Good, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, ground through the toes. Little locust pose. If you're feeling okay through your low back, maybe your feet start to lift. Good, so using the whole strength of the back body. Take another inhale, palms and feet lift to ceiling. Exhale, feet down. Keep the shoulder heads lifted, hands by side. Tuck the toes, press back knees, hips to heels, extended child's pose. Nice full inhale there. Spread through the shoulder blades. Exhale, press into the hands. Inhale, shifts forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale there. And exhale. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the ceiling. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, stepping that foot forward, letting that back knee drop. As you inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, find length in the spine. And then as you exhale, find cactus arms. Imagine you're drawing those elbows down to your pockets, and then lift the chest, maybe the palms rotate back. Chin slightly lifts, take another big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reaches those arms up. And as you exhale, hands to floor. Inhale, straightens the back leg. Exhale, steps you back to plank. Take an inhale there. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Keep those shoulder heads lifted. Ground through the toes. Take those arms back behind you. Palms face down to open the chest. Good. Use those back muscles to lift the chest. Ground through the feet. If it feels good, hover the feet. Good. Take another inhale. Smooth, steady breaths. Exhale, feet down. As you inhale, hands by side, keep those shoulder heads lifted. Exhale, press back knees, hips to heels, child's pose. Big inhale there, reach through the arms. And then exhale, press into the hands. Inhale, shifts you forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice full inhale. And exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, heel to bum. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose. Step that foot forward. Keep the back knee up. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, hover the hands back behind you. Turn the palms down. Good. Lift up through the hands. Lengthen the chest forward. Draw those shoulder heads back. Then power up the back leg. Inhale, lifts the chest, lifts the arms. Exhale there. Good, big inhale, nice lift through the spine. As you exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, rotates to the right. Keep bending into that front knee. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Lift up through the chest. Big inhale. As you exhale back to center. Inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, hands to floor. Inhale, steps you back, plank. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Keep those shoulder heads lifted. Draw the elbows forward. Press down into the hands. Sphinx pose. Round down into the toes. Press into the hands. Now imagine drawing your hands back, heart forward. Big inhale there. Exhale. As you inhale, slide the hands back, shoulder heads stay lifted. Exhale, tuck the toes. Take an inhale there. Exhale, press back knees, hips to heels. Child's pose. Big inhale, reach through those arms. Exhale, press into the hands. Inhale, shifts you forward. Exhale, downward dog. Nice full inhale. And exhale. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, step it forward. Back knee's gonna stay up. Shift the weight forward, lengthen the spine, and then hover those hands behind you. Turn the palms down. Roll the shoulder blades back. Use your upper back. Power up the back leg. Take a big inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, press into the front foot, lift your chest, reach the arms. Exhale, bend into that front knee. Good, draw in through the low belly, so low ribs draw in, tailbone drops. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, cactus arms. Shoulder blades draw together, elbows back. Take an inhale here. And exhale, rotate to the left. Good, use your core. Good, check and make sure that right elbow's not coming more forward, that shoulder blade staying on the back. Take another inhale. Exhale. Inhale comes back to center. Exhale. As you inhale, reach those arms. And exhale, hands to floor. Inhale, steps you back, plank. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor, coming into Sphinx pose. Ground down into those elbows, press down into the hands and feet. Inhale, shoulder blades draw together as you press and draw those hands back. Big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, slides those hands back, shoulder blades down to the back, tuck the toes, press back knees or toes all the way to downward facing dog. Nice full inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shift the weight slightly forward, look to your hands, turn your hands out just a little bit more outward, so your thumb goes more toward the front of the mat, and then your hands go a little wider. Just see how that feels. If it feels awful, go back to normal. And then lengthen the spine back, and then draw the chest back. Good, so a little bit opening into the shoulders, maybe even that chest gets closer to your legs. Maybe you bend your knees. Big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts to the ceiling. Exhale, heel to bone. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, stepping that foot forward. Back knee comes down again. Good, drop those hips forward. Roll the shoulders back, hands either to blocks or to your front knee. Really let those hips drop. Tuck your back toe and imagine you're drawing your back foot to your front heel. So really getting into this left hip. Good. Now drop the tailbone, pull the low belly in, lift the chest slightly, and then lift the arms as you inhale. Exhale, cactus arms to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus arms to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus arms to the center. Take those hands, interleave them behind your back, and then lengthen those hands back to your back heel. Open the chest, take a big inhale, maybe chin lifts. Exhale. Release the grip. Inhale, sweeps those arms up. And exhale, hands to floor. Straighten the back leg. Inhale, steps you back. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Keep those shoulder heads lifted. Ground the toes, press into the hands, baby cobra or maybe a little higher. Good, elbows draw back, press into those hands, draw the hands back. So you're getting into the back. Another inhale here, press the feet. Exhale, lower chest, keep the shoulder heads lifted, tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Nice full inhale, so strengthening that back side of the body so that we're able to open the front a little bit more. Exhale. Left side, inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, heel to bum. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, step that foot forward. Back knee comes down. Good, let those hips drop forward. Keep your back toe tucked. And then maybe hands are on blocks, maybe your hands can come to your knee. So hips are still dropping, but engage the legs so those legs are drawing toward one another as you're dropping down to that tailbone. Good, another breath here. Then draw in through the low belly, lift the chest. Inhale, takes those arms up. Exhale, cactus arms to the left. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, cactus arms to the right. Inhale, reaches up. Exhale, cactus arms center. And then reach those hands back behind you, palms face one another, interlink the fingers. And then roll the shoulders back more, lengthen hands toward your knee. Good, maybe chest lifts. Big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, release the grip. Exhale. And then as you inhale, sweep those arms up. And exhale, hands to floor. Straighten the back leg. Inhale, step back. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Shoulder head stay lifted, ground through the feet. Baby cobra or medium cobra. Elbows are bent, shoulder blades draw together. Neck grows long. Big inhale here. Exhale, meeting up. Downward facing dog. Nice full inhale. And exhale. One more full inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, takes that right leg lifted to the sky. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, step that foot forward. Coming into a high lunge, crescent lunge, reach those arms up and pause. Good, find the power of the legs. Breathing here. Take that left arm, reach it nice and strong up. As you exhale, take your right arm, reach it down. Good, make a fist with both hands. Take your left hand back behind your head, behind your upper back, and then take your right hand, take the back of your hand to your low back, and then slide it up your back any little bit and pause. Press your backs of your hand, or sorry, your hands into your body as you lift your elbows up and down. Good, take another inhale there. Exhale. Inhale, unwind those arms, reach up, reach down. Exhale, release the hands down by your side. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Aren't you so happy in your hip flexors for warrior two? Good. Pausing there. Getting into our upper back a little bit more. Taking your right arm over your left. Eagle arms, or press your forearms together and pause there. So you have options of where you want to be. Good, lift through the elbows wherever you are. Relax the neck. Another inhale there. Exhale. Inhale, opens the arms wide. And exhale. Inhale, straightens that right leg. Exhale, extend that right sideways, and your hand comes down to the blocker floor behind the calf. And then take that top arm up. Good, pause there. You can stay here, or maybe finding a little bit more openness. Take that top hand, find the back of the head, and then lift the elbow up to the ceiling. Maybe even press the head back, find a little bit of a back bend in your triangle pose. Take another big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, top arm reaches if it's not already. Exhale, looking down as you bend into that bottom knee. Hand can stay on the block or elbow to thigh. Press into the feet, lift up, find your side angle pose. Good, and then top arm reaches overhead. If you have a bind and you'd like to go into a bind, you have that. Maybe if it's just your top hand finds a little half bind behind you. Good, 2 more breaths here. 1 more full inhale. And exhale. Inhale, top arm reaches if it's not already. Exhale, looking down. As you inhale, press yourself back up, warrior 2. Take a nice deep inhale there. And as you exhale, hands to the floor. Your choice, step it back, either downward dog or vinyasa, your choice. If you're gonna vinyasa with me, inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, either cobra, maybe upward dog, but cobra works on that upper back a little bit more. And then meeting up, downward facing dog. Exhale fully. Left side, inhale, takes that left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, heel to bum. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, stepping that foot forward. Find your crescent lunge. Inhale, takes those arms up. Good, exhale, find your pose. And then take your right arm, reach it up nice and long. Exhale, left arm reaches it down to the floor. Make fists with your hands. Your right hand's gonna come behind your head. Your left back of your hand's gonna come to your low back or mid back. Good, press your hands into your back. Lift your elbows up and down. Draw into the low belly. Power up that back leg. Good, and then draw the head back to the top arm. Another big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, takes those arms, reach them up and down. Exhale, release that left hand down. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale, open it up, warrior 2. Good, find your Virabhadrasana to power up that back leg, bend it to the front knee, find your comfort zone. Good, and this time, either elbows together or that left elbow comes over top, eagle arms. So when you're pressing in, lifting in, lift the elbows, find some stretch across to the shoulder blades, finding some contraction in the front body. Good, but now relax the head and draw the head back to the back of the room. Another big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, opens those arms for warrior 2. Exhale. Inhale, straightens that left leg. Exhale, tilt the pelvis so that your hand can come down to the block or the floor behind the calf. Top arm reaches up. Good, maybe that top arm finds the back of your head. And you lean your head into your hand and lean away, finding a nice stretch from hip to armpit. Keep powering up the legs, pull in through the belly, another big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, top arm reaches. Exhale, looking down as you bend into that left knee. So either hand stays down on the block or floor, or elbow to thigh. And again, you have options, maybe top arm overhead, maybe you find a little lean back, maybe you find a bind, even if it's maybe a half bind. Good, power up the legs, 2 more breaths here. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, top arm reaches if it's not already. Exhale, looking down. As you inhale, press yourself back up, warrior 2. And exhale. Inhale, cartwheels those hands to the floor. Pause there as you exhale. Inhale, steps you back, plank. Exhale, drops the knees. Knees come back a little bit further, knees and hips stack, toes are tucked. Reach those arms out, rotate your hands out so your thumbs point toward the middle of your mat. And then drop the chest, puppy pose. So keep the arms straight, draw those shoulder blades back onto your back, and then chest drops. Now take your shoulder blades, draw them away from one another as you pull up through the low belly. So a little rounding into the upper back, getting into those scapula underneath, between. Maybe your head touches floor, maybe your nose, maybe your chin. Good, take another big inhale, draw up through the low belly, press into the hands. Exhale. Inhale, lifts the chest. Exhale, walks the hands back. And press it back, downward dog. Good, nice full inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, pause there. Flex through the foot, engage the glute, lift the foot higher, take an inhale, and then exhale, draw knee to nose, step that foot behind the right hand. So it's a little bit shorter, a little bit wider, and then drop your left heel for a little wider Virabhadrasana 1. Take those arms up. So your feet are a little bit wider. So you find a little bit more base, maybe a little bit more stretch in that left leg. Good, take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, bend the elbows, interlink the hands behind your back, and then press those hands into the base of your skull. So your thumbs are along your neck, and then draw your elbows in around your head. Lift up with your arms on your head to lengthen your neck, and then lift the elbows more to find stretch in your sideways. Good, take another inhale. So this is another reason for a wider base so we don't fall over. Exhale. Inhale brings the head back to neutral. Exhale there. As you inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, straighten the front leg as your hands come to your hips. Now you can take that back foot, step it in a little bit if you need to, so both heels can touch the ground with legs straight. Hands are going to come behind you, interlink the hands. When you interlink the hands, instead of pressing the palms together, imagine you want to pull them apart. So you're pulling your hands apart. So we're working the front body here a little bit. Pull those hands apart as you roll the shoulders back, and then lengthen forward. Good, so nice long spine. So the arms aren't reaching up to the ceiling, they're reaching back and trying to be pulled apart. But your arms are resisting them, your fingers are squeezing. Good, power up that front leg. Another big inhale. Exhale. Put a little bend into that front knee. Inhale lifts the chest. Exhale releases those arms. Hands come to center. Take that back foot, step it back a little bit longer. Coming into a high lunge, coming into a twist. So you have either left hand to floor or rotate toward the right, left elbow, right knee. We've been working the twist, working our back. You might be able to make connection here. Press down, lift up. Good, any variations you want to go into from here, if you have them, go for it. Be mindful of your breath. Good, power up that back leg. One more full inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, looking down. Exhale, hands to floor. Good, take an inhale there. And then as you exhale, let that left knee drop. Walk the right foot all the way out to the side. Turn your right toes off the mat. Left hand to floor. Let those hips drop forward. And then roll the right knee out to the side. A little hip opener here. Getting into the front left side, the right hip. If you can go to your elbow and continue stretching, you have that as an option. We're going to go into a quadricep stretch next. So for people that are a little bit tighter in their quadriceps and you find it hard to reach your back foot, what you're going to do is you're going to shift your hips back first, bend your knee so your heel comes toward your bum, and then reach back for your foot. Right? So you're kind of rounding forward. Now once you're there, press the hips forward, roll the shoulders back, and find that stretch. If you can find your foot easily, see if you can put your hand, walk it around the foot to the pinky edge so you're opening up your chest. Good. And again, if you have that more range of motion, elbow can go to block or floor. Sometimes this is just what we need, is staying here. Good. 2 more breaths. Good. 1 more full inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and release the foot slowly. Take that right hand to the floor. Step it back, your choice. Plank, downward dog, vinyasa, whatever you would like. I'm going to pause in downward dog for a moment. Exhale fully in downward dog. And then inhale, takes that left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, pause there, keep the hips square. Flex through the foot, power up the glutes, lift the leg high. And then exhale, knee to nose, step the foot behind the left hand. So it's a little bit wider. Drop the right heel, wider warrior 1 coming up. Good. Lift up through the chest, press into the feet. Good, and then bend the elbows, interlink those fingers, bring those hands to the back of the head so your thumbs come down your neck. Good, press into the base of the skull as you lift the neck long, and then exhale, draw those elbows up toward the ceiling. Finding length in the spine, draw those low belly in, find length in the sideways, and then find the strength of the elbows, strength of the shoulders. Good, one more big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale brings the head back to neutral. Exhale there. Inhale reaches the arms up. Exhale. Inhale straightens that front leg. Exhale, hands to your hips, adjust the back foot as you need so that you can have balance. And then inhale, take those hands back behind you, interlink them, and then imagine you're pulling those hands apart to the shoulder blades draw together, and then lengthen forward over that front leg. Good, so arms aren't reaching up to the ceiling, they're reaching back as your heart's reaching forward. Power up those legs, that right hip wants to stay back, can you draw it forward? So you're noticing your top of your body as well as the bottom of your body. Check in with your breath. Exhale fully. As you inhale, lift the heart slightly. Exhale, bend into that front knee. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, release those hands. Hands to your heart, wiggle that back foot back. Coming into that high lunge. So again, your right hand to the floor if you need, or exhale, rotate to the left, right elbow, left knee. Press down, power up the back leg, finding a little deeper twist. Imagine top of the spine's lengthening forward, your back heel's pushing back. Any deeper twist that you'd like to go into from here. One more full inhale. Exhale. Inhale, looking down. Exhale, releases those hands down to the inside of the foot. You're going to walk that foot out a little bit wider. Let that back knee drop. Good, and then from here, take the left toes off the mat, left heels on the mat, and then roll that left hip out. Find a little deeper twist, a little more hip stretch. Good, another breath or two here. And then going into that quadricep stretch, so if you're a little tighter and you can't quite reach, shift the hips back first, bend the knee, grab the foot, and then start to press the hips forward. Good, if you can, walk your hand around your foot so that you're holding the pinky edge so your shoulder blades draw together and your chest opens. Couple breaths here. Exhale fully. Good, slowly release that back leg. Bring the hands to the floor. Straighten that back leg, step it back. Your choice, vinyasa, maybe downward dog. Maybe we all meet then in child's pose. Yay. Good, relax the shoulders, relax the arms. Just check in here. Notice how you're feeling, slow that breath down. So we're going to start to really go deeper. We're going to go into Locust, Urdvha Dhanurasana, which is a little variation of a quad stretch on our belly that leads into Dhanurasana, bow pose. And then Dhanurasana, which we're going to work on at the wall as well. Sorry, Urdvha Dhanurasana. Good, so go ahead and press yourself up so you're sitting on your heels. If that's not comfortable, you can just come to hands and knees to watch. I'm going to use a bolster here. And so I'm going to use my blanket as a bolster. And I'm going to fold it so it gives me some support and lift. My hip bones are going to be at the back. So my hip bones are going to be kind of more toward the floor. I have about as much height as maybe a block is tall. You can go even higher if you want. So if you have a bigger pillow, it doesn't matter. Like if I use one of the bigger cushions, it really wouldn't matter. And then you're going to lay down onto your belly for Locust. Right, so you're going to lay down. And when you lay down, your diaphragm or your top ribs are over in it. Your hip points are more toward the back. Your pelvis is on the floor. And then you're just kind of come into Sphinx to begin. So it's not so hard on your belly. Good, ground through the toes. Good, and then from here, start to roll the shoulders back. Reach one arm back and then the other arm back, palms face on the floor. Good, roll the shoulders back. Maybe reach the arms back. Good, keep lengthening out, using the strength of the legs pressing down and the strength of the arms reaching back to lift the chest. Good, take another inhale. Exhale. Inhale brings those elbows forward into Sphinx pose. And pause. Relax the legs. Good. So if you have something underneath you for this next pose, it feels a little bit better. You can stay on your elbows. And then you're going to take your left hand, turn about a 45-degree angle in front of you. Bend your right foot. And then you're going to reach back for your right foot. Good. And then from here, you're going to crawl that hand around your foot so you're grabbing the inside, shoulder rolls up, and then pull the heel toward your bum. Any little bit. Press the knee down. Good, so you're getting a shoulder stretch. You're getting a quadricep stretch. Now squeeze your knee toward your other knee. Ooh. Good, one more big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, release the legs slowly. Come back to Sphinx. Press into the elbows, press into the legs. Second side, turn your right elbow to 45 degrees. Bend your left knee, reach back for the outside of the foot to begin. That might be where you be, that's totally fine. If you can, walk your hand around your foot to the inside. Good, and then press hand into foot, foot into hand, and then start to draw the heel in. Maybe your hand reaches the top of your foot. Squeeze your knee in toward one another, press down into the knee and into the foot. Good, another big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, releases the foot. Exhale, back to Sphinx. Good, and then from here, tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Walk those knees underneath. And then sit back on your heels again. Just take a moment there. So this is like our neutral position. We're going to use the bolster again. So if you found it challenging to reach your feet, maybe you do locust pose again, or maybe you do that Bakasana again. If you found it okay to reach your feet, Dhanurasana. I just find the bolster helps lift my chest, which helps me get closer to my feet, right? So if I were to be on the floor, I can still reach, but if you just kind of notice, if I'm reaching back, they're kind of farther away because my chest is lower than if I'm on the bolster and I'm down. And then I go to reach back, I'm like, oh yeah, there they are, because I'm like 6 inches closer, right? So that's the kind of the benefit of the bolster, I find. So if whatever you'd like to do, we're going to bow pose. So lay on your belly or on the bolster. Good. And then from here, bend your knees. Good, press down into the legs. Point the toes to begin. Good, and then lift the chest, find that little Sphinx pose. Reach your hands back to your ankles and lift the chest, roll it back. Good, press the knees down if you're on the bolster. If you're not on the bolster, lift your knees up. Maybe if you have a little bit more range of motion, work those hands around to the insides of your feet. A little bit more, it's a little harder if you don't have that range of motion like me. I'm gonna stay on the outside. Good, one more breath here. Can you lift the chin? Exhale. Good, slowly release the hands. Release the feet. Good, press yourself back, tabletop. Good, sitting on your heels. Let that marinate. All right, so you felt the openness of the front body, the working of the back body, right? So those shoulder blades, the low back, you gotta use the legs too, right? We're gonna continue on, lay onto your back. Resist the urge to hug the knees yet. Come to a little neutral spine, laying on your back, pause. Coming into bridge pose, right? And if you're kind of like at the point right now where you're like, I'm kind of done, I'm gonna watch the rest, supported bridge. Throw a block, throw a bolster underneath, be happy, be kind to your back. Going on. Press down into your elbows, Press down into the floor, lift the hips, inhale. As you exhale, walk those hands underneath you. Press down into the pinky edges, slide the hands closer, interlink those hands. Press the hands down. Now imagine you want to pull those hands apart. Good, so you're gonna notice that lifts your chest a little bit more. Press into the back of the head. Send your shins forward as you draw your heels back. Tailbone lengthens to knees. Good, again, keep opening up the chest by pulling those arms apart. Everything's working. Big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, put a little slight bend in the elbows, release the grip. Unwind the shoulders, release the hips. Knees can stay neutral or knock in. Take a moment there. Notice how that felt. Notice the opening of the front body, the work of the back body. And so we're going to add on a little bit into Dhanurasana, Urdvha Dhanurasana, wheel pose. And I'm going to first show it with the bolsters. So that's the less work. So maybe you want to do wheel pose, but you can't press up, right? You don't have that leverage yet. You don't have the flexibility. You don't have the openness of your arms to open up yet. You can use bolsters, right? So you can stack, my bolsters are couch cushions. You can stack those on top of one another. And then you're gonna sit at one end, roll yourself back. You might need 3, you might need 4, lay yourself back. And then same idea, you're gonna take your arms overhead, plant your hands outside, toward the outside of your mat, fingers wide, press into the feet, and then just lift any little bit, right? So maybe your hips lift higher, but use those arms a little bit, and then over time, as you get stronger, you can start to straighten those arms, right? So if you have a bolster, you can start in that area, even just reaching the hands back and then pressing the elbows back to open up the front body helps you get prepared for this, right? So that's one option. Next option. If you have blocks, there's 2 different things that tend to happen. So if blocks can go 2 different places. They can go under your feet. I find that under my feet it helps because I'm tight in my hips. So if you find your hips are tight and you feel like when you get up into wheel, you're kind of more like a table instead of a bridge, right? The feet would be on the blocks. If you find that your hips feel heavy, or no, your hips feel fine, but your chest feels heavy and you know you can press up, it might be better for you to have your blocks under your hands. So I'm gonna have you, if you have blocks, give it a try both ways, right? So I'm gonna start with the feet, and then I'll show the hands, and then you'll have an option of which feels better. And again, if none of these feel good, you have the previous position, you have bridge, you have supported bridge, you can just watch, right? So I'm gonna set myself up in bridge. My feet are on the blocks. Press down into my heels. Hands are gonna come back. I like to put my thumbs facing my shoulders and then my fingers point out, and my hands are wider than they're not next to my ears, they're wider than my shoulders, right? Because I have tight shoulders a little bit. It helps me give me more space. So then I'm gonna press into my heels, lift my hips, come to the top of my head, and then press back into those hands, and then straighten the arms, right? So I'm opening up, pressing, tailbone goes to knees, shins forward, arms straight, neck relaxed. And then to come down, I'm gonna bend my elbows, back of my head to floor, roll my spine down, relax everything down. Blocks under feet. So next, blocks under hands. And sometimes blocks under hands is sometimes a little bit better at the wall so that they don't slide. So I'm just gonna show you that, but if you don't have a wall, don't worry about it. If you have tight wrists that you can't get this 90 degrees flexion and you can only go here, it's good to put the blocks against the wall at an angle, and then that helps with that grip, with that angle there, so you're just kind of angling them, but make sure you have either a baseboard or you put something else under it so that they don't. If you don't have blocks, you can also do this with a bolster at the wall, right? So you can put your hands on the bolster. So same idea, you want those blocks wide. You're gonna put your head between the blocks. So the top of your head, not your ears, but the top of your head. Ground down into the feet. Bring those thumbs back down so your fingers grip on the outside, and then press into the feet. Come onto the top of the head, and then straighten those arms. From here, you're trying to press your chest to the wall. Opening up, press into those feet, lengthen tailbone, press down, open up. When you come back down, chin toward chest, back ahead to floor, roll it down, pause there. If you got one more in you, there's another great one to do at the wall. Again, with the blocks. You'll turn the blocks down onto the floor. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of make a little L shape with your hands, kind of like this, but you're gonna press that into the floor behind you. So your hands are gonna be down onto the blocks like this shape overhead, right? So imagine them upside down. They're like that. All right, so same idea. Head's gonna come between the blocks. You're gonna press those hands right up next to the wall and on the blocks. Hopefully you have space next to both. You're gonna press down and then come to the top of your head, lifting up so you're pressing into the wall and into the blocks with your hand so that you might find a little bit more openness. Press down blocks and into the wall, and then slowly lower down. Take a well-deserved break. Wow. Let those knees knock in. Pausing there. And so like I said, this will be up hopefully by tonight, early tomorrow. So if you wanted to practice some of these again, you have that as an option in the future. Because some of these they take playing around with. So hopefully you found something that worked for your body, that felt good in your body. And then just acknowledge what worked. Hold on to that. And then let it go, because now it's in the past. If there's anything you're holding on to, any criticism, any doubt, let that go. It's not worth to hold on to. Remember, yoga is a journey. It wouldn't be good if we could do everything the very first time. If you got, a lot of you know Kelly, if you know Kelly, she knows I do not like back bends. I call them heart openers because it's a little nicer phrase for me. And so for me to be able to do this now is through lots of work. So you always have to work with the things that sometimes are not your favorite. And this is one of them for me. Okay, go ahead and take your right knee, draw it into your chest, and find a little half happy baby. So that left leg can be bent or straight, your choice, whatever is going to be best for you. Maybe have your strap nearby. Little half happy baby. Press foot into hand, hand into foot, squeeze knee into the side. And then taking that right leg up to the ceiling. Spread through the toes, let that right hip drop down to the mat. Again, you can use the strap, or you can wrap your hands around your thigh or around the big toe. I just find the strap sometimes gives me a little bit less tension in the neck and shoulders. And then keep that left hip grounded, take that right leg out to the side, opening it up. Feeling that inner thigh stretch, lengthen tailbone toward your heels. Put a little bend into that knee, draw that leg back up to center, and then just take it across the body just a little bit, getting into that outer hip. Maybe then press your right thumb into that right hip. And then back up to center. You have the option here, you're gonna bend both knees. You can either take your right ankle to your left knee and flex that foot in, or take your right leg all the way over your left and hug the knees in for Gomukhasana. So you either have pigeon legs or Gomukhasana legs. Lengthen the tailbone down, draw the knees in, relax the shoulders. Maybe rock a little bit till you find some tension and pause there. Especially if you're in those eagle legs, the Gomukhasana legs, try to get your knees toward your chest, not your heels toward your bum. Exhale fully. Inhale, brings those knees back to center. Your choice, either stay with eagle legs for a twist or a one-legged twist, but shift your hips to the right first, and then drop the knees to the left. Nice full breaths here. Just notice anywhere along your spine that's still feeling maybe a little tight, maybe has a little tension. Try to direct the breath and the twist to that area. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, draw the knees up. Exhale, unwind those legs, bring the hips back to center, pause. And then find half happy baby on the left side. Maybe that right leg goes long. Nice full breaths here. And then taking that strap, lengthening the leg up or grabbing onto the toe. Let that left hip drop down, getting into the hamstring a little bit deeper, letting the hip reset a little bit. And then keeping your right hip heavy, maybe even put your right hand on that hip, take that left leg out to the side. Good, push through the heel, maybe even take that heel, spin it up toward the ceiling, really getting to the inner groin. And then lengthen your tailbone toward your bottom heel. If that bottom leg, the right leg is bent, make sure the knee points up to the ceiling. Put a little bend into that left leg. Inhale, brings the leg up. And exhale, just a little bit across the body, getting into the outer hip. Maybe even that left thumb presses into the hip crease to keep that left hip anchored. Remember, greater stretch, toes toward head. Less of a stretch, heel toward end of mat. And go ahead and come back to center. Bending both knees, and again, your choice, either left ankle over that right knee or left knee over right knee, finding Gomukhasana legs, either holding shins or heels or pinky edges of feet. So if you're in eagle legs, knees toward your chest. If you're in pigeon, knees are driving away from your chest while your arms are trying to draw them in. And rocking any little bit that you need to find a spot that needs a little bit more of a stretch. Exhale fully here. Go ahead and release those feet. Place the soles of the feet on the ground. And then your choice, either one leg or two legs, shift the hips to the left and drop the knees to the right. Finding a twist, opening up here. Let go of any Ujjayi breath. Let your breath help deepen the twist. Your inhales will lift and expand. And your exhales will help with gravity, pull you into the twist a little deeper. Exhale fully here. Inhale, brings those knees back up to center. Exhale, unwind, bring yourself back to center. And then a full happy baby or any other pose you'd like to do. Maybe it's both legs straight, maybe it's wide legs. Anything you feel your body needs here. Maybe it's just hugging the knees in. And we'll be going into Shavasana. We have hit our 1 hour time limit. So if you'd like to tune out and do Shavasana for about 10 breaths and go along your way, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'm going to leave us here for another 3 or 4 minutes together in Shavasana. Doing a little guided relaxation before some moments of silence, and then bringing us out with 3 bells. So and relax those legs out, using any props you need to feel comfortable. If your back is feeling a little bit tender from all of the work, taking a bolster and sliding that underneath your thighs, and then slightly just taking your heels and drawing them toward one another so that your thighs kind of externally rotate. That kind of helps alleviate any tension in the low back. Pressing those shoulder blades into the floor to lift the chin slightly, and then taking the arms out wide. Getting out any little wiggles you need to, maybe even cover those eyes so that you can drop into relaxation. Take a nice deep full inhale here. Sigh it out. Allowing yourself to settle into stillness. Let your breathing return to normal. And then noticing all the parts on your body that are facing the ceiling. Noticing that openness in the front side of the body. Allow the back side of the body to drift down into the mat, into the floor. But noticing the sensation at the tops of your feet, your shins and knees. Noticing the sensations of your thighs and into the tops of your hips. Noticing both legs, the sensations on the tops of the legs. And then noticing the sensations in the palms, the wrists. Noticing the sensations in the upper part of your forearm and your biceps. Noticing the sensations in the front of your chest and shoulders. Noticing both arms. Noticing those sensations of openness in the arms and chest. And then noticing again the tops of the hips and the belly and the chest. Noticing those sensations of openness and relaxation. Noticing your full body from feet, hips, hands, shoulders, and belly. Noticing all of those areas feeling open and relaxed. Taking your final inhale, nice and big here together. Sigh it out. Allowing yourself to surrender into stillness, into Shavasana. I'll bring us out with 3 bells. Take rest. On your next breath, come in a little bit deeper. If this is feeling good, please feel free to remain here as long as you need. On your next breath, allow some movements to come into the fingers and toes, maybe even the wrists and ankles. On your next breath, reach your arms back behind your head, slide your feet together, give yourself a nice long stretch from head to toe, all the way into the hands. And then start to bend the knees. Your choice, either hug those knees in, giving them a good squeeze, or windshield wiper the legs, whatever's going to feel best in your back today. And as you're ready, rolling to your favorite side, use your arm as a pillow, pause there for a moment once you're there. Let yourself just lay on your side, maybe even curling down toward the floor a little bit more. Just pause, check in, scanning over the body, checking in with the mind, acknowledging those shifts from the practice today. And then when you're ready, use your top hand, extend your top leg, pressing yourself up sideways, coming up mindfully to a seated position once again. And then closing your eyes if they've opened. Allow your hands to press in front of your heart center. Bring yourself into the room, onto your mat, into your body, and bringing that intention back to mind. Allowing the strength, the energy, and the breath of this practice to help you with that intention as you transition off your mat and into your day ahead. We'll seal our practice in together with one final om or a sigh of the breath, your choice. Exhale fully. Take a nice full inhale. Bow your head slightly. Take you a moment. Think of one thing in your life that you truly are grateful for. And then holding on to that image in your mind's eye as you raise your head with a smile. Thank you for joining me today and exploring opening your heart and strengthening your backside. Drink lots of water, eat your veggies for sunblock. We'll see you hopefully on Tuesday. Namaste.